ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ. So I welcome you all in this talk, and our subject for today's talk is devotion in Shankaracharyaji's writings, Shankaracharyaji's work. Before we go into the Shankaracharyaji's work and discover the devotion, let's first understand what is devotion and how does prayer help in devotion, etc. So we'll have a little introduction regarding devotion, prayer, etc. So the definition of devotion is a love or attachment for Ishvara. This love also includes in it reverence and faith. So love accompanied with a deep feeling of reverence and Shraddha or faith is called devotion. So it is an emotion of the mind, and when it gets expressed, it takes the form of serving Ishvara, meditating upon Ishvara, and leading a life committed to knowing Ishvara. Serving and offering oneself to Ishvara is called Karma Yoga. You must be familiar with these words at least, and many of you must be studying also Bhagavad Gita, etc. So serving and offering oneself to Ishvara is called Karma Yoga. Meditating upon Ishvara is called Upasana, and pursuit of knowledge of Ishvara is called Jnana Yoga. So devotion is means of ultimately attaining Ishvara through all the means, through Karma Yoga, through Upasana, and through Jnana. All the three are essential. And I may have a lifestyle of either a sannyasi, either a grihastha, or else. Generally, we have two lifestyles which are very important, Vedic lifestyles. One is a grihasthashrama, and another is a sannyasashrama. Other two ashramas we can accommodate. Brahmacharya ashrama we can definitely accommodate into grihasthashrama, and vanaprastha ashrama we can accommodate into sannyasashrama. So these two main lifestyles are there. But ultimately, in order to gain a Ishvara, these two lifestyles are there, in which I have to basically, I have to do anushthan of all the three disciplines. I have to observe all the three disciplines called Karma Yoga, Upasana, and Jnana Yoga. And attaining Ishvara is called moksha. Basically, attaining Ishvara is attaining the goal of life, of a human life. Let's say attaining the best goal of a life, attaining Param Purushartha we call, attaining the goal of the life, I can say. Why? Because basically Ishvara Ishvara means a peace. Ishvara means the security. Ishvara means the happiness. And any human being of any religious, of any religion basically, and whether it is a Nastika or Astika, atheist or non, well, basically Nastika, but still, one is in search of all the time all these three things only. I call it as a PHS, peace, and well, happiness and security. And Ishvara is the source of all the three. And therefore, ultimately, all these three things, Karma Yoga, Upasana, and Jnana Yoga, which will enable a person to, gain Ishvara, to be one with Ishvara, let's say, is, it means that one is able to gain peace in life, one is able to gain security in life, one is able to gain happiness in life. You and me all know very well that in world, we do lot of things and gain also lot of things, and we will be called successful also and materially. But we know we gain rather a lot of all these material things, we call as materialism. But then these three things all the time evade us. So in order to gain happiness, I bring a lot of things in my home, and I experience rather. And then in order to gain peace, I definitely acquire a lot of things. I wish a particular person in my life so that my life will be peaceful. I think so. And I definitely acquire a lot of objects of security also. But we gather a lot of things, and we will call also ourselves as very successful people materially. But these three things evade us all the time. Therefore, that at least this much is clear to us, that this thing is definitely any object cannot be called a happiness, peace or security. That must be, the source must be something else, and that source is Ishvara. Ishvara must be the source of security, Ishvara must be the source of peace, and Ishvara must be the source of happiness. And so basically these three disciplines help us ultimately in any lifestyle, whether it is a grihastha or a sannyasa. Ultimately it helps us to gain this Param Purushartha called Ishvara, or we call it as a moksha, because moksha means freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from what I don't want. So if I don't want unhappiness, so freedom from unhappiness, I said Ishvara is a source of happiness. Means what? I will become free from unhappiness. I also want a freedom from insecurity. I said Ishvara is a source of security. So by gaining Ishvara, you get a freedom from insecurity. So it's a moksha. And I don't want any kind of a stress, strain, etc. I want a peace in my life. Everyone loves peace basically, and all the time, 24/7, and throughout the life. And definitely, if you want a freedom from all this agitation, stress, strain, etc. Ishvara is a source of a peace. Means basically you get a freedom from this anxiety, stress, etc. By gaining Ishvara. And therefore, by gaining Ishvara is called moksha. Is called Parama Purushartha. And therefore, and to attain that, these three disciplines we have to undergo. Karma Yoga. And that Karma Yoga, I have told you, serving and offering oneself. And this is one. And meditating upon Ishvara is second. And and the third thing is, Jnana Yoga, in which, definitely pursuit of knowledge of Ishvara. What is Ishvara, and so what is the nature of Ishvara, etc. That knowledge also I should gain it, and by that, I will be a successful in Shastra's view. Materially, you may not be successful, but basically, Shastra says the success of life is gaining these three things: gaining Ishvara or gaining moksha. And as I said, devotion to Ishvara is basically devotion involves basically a reverence and faith, and it's basically love, but with reverence and faith to Ishvara is a bhakti or a devotion. And Bhagavan actually does not require an act of devotion on our part. Our worship and a song of praise are not going to make him feel better actually. Nor is he someone who is in need of a flattery also. Anything that we say in his praise basically is bound to be inadequate. We may use words like Ishvara is a sarvajnaha. He is omniscient and omnipotent and all this. Ishvara is limitless. He pervades everything. Like that we praise, definitely we praise. But we really speaking, we don't know the real meaning of that. In our ignorance, we say that he is all knowledge. But what is true is that he is free from ignorance. That's called omniscience. But then what could be the mind which is free from ignorance? That we have no idea of such a mind which is free from ignorance. So what is my point is we use a lot of words in praise of Ishvara, but basically we ourselves do not know the real meaning of it. It's like telling a local villager who did not even complete a elementary education, and praising a great mathematician. And so how is a mathematician going to be flattered? He's not going to be flattered. So anything that we say in praise of Bhagavan is but from our standpoint only. So it's like a wave praising the ocean. So if we have the devotion, we are also not required to act out the devotion in form of puja, archana, bhajanam or japa, etc. But generally we lack devotion. And so we fake it till we make it. So by doing puja, bhajanam or archana, etc., we discover a true devotion for Ishvara. So I can have a deliberate commitment to cultivate the devotion. And prayer is one of the means to get a true devotion for Ishvara. So prayer means recognizing the presence of Ishvara, and it generates a condition for discovering the devotee in us. I am a devotee, but just as you become a swimmer by swimming, same way you can become a devotee by being a devout. And so and for prayer is a means for that. And prayer is a entirely it's an action, very well, but prayer is an entirely different type of an action compared to other actions. The ability to pray comes from the basic person, basically. The basic person is a devotee. The basic person means one who has a fundamental relationship with the Ishvara. You and me have several relationships in our life, but all the relationships are, they are later. My basic relationship is with the Ishvara only, because he has only given me a body, etc., and not just in one life. Life after life, he gives me a body, he sustains my life, etc., and ultimately I resolve into Ishvara also. And therefore, basically, my basic relationship is with the Ishvara alone, and therefore I can say, my basic relationship is of a devotee. And this ability to pray comes from this basic person, devotee, who has either a belief or in Ishvara or understanding of Ishvara, and also of the efficacy of prayer. So these two things are very, very essential in this particular action. When you pray to the Lord, you know the efficacy of the prayer. That's how you pray. If you feel that it is not an efficacious, you won't pray. So you definitely know the efficacy of the prayer. And when you pray to Ishvara, definitely you have an understanding of Ishvara. May not be a complete understanding, but you have a certain understanding of Ishvara also. Or else, even if you do not have understanding, at least you believe in Ishvara. And therefore, prayer is this type of an action in which you have a understanding or belief, or definitely of Ishvara, and also the efficacy of the prayer. So any form of prayer produces punyam, adrishtam, in different degrees. So prayer also produces drishtaphalam, a seen result, which you can experience in this life itself, even after during a prayer or after the prayer. And also prayer produces adrishtam called punyam. So both the types of results are produced by this particular action called prayer. And this drishtaphalam, which is an immediate result, definitely and that result will be, you will become free from helplessness. You will become free from frustration after doing prayer. So that's an result which you experience immediately. But also, at the same time, it produces punyam called adrishtam also. So this is so because one has acted upon the desire, basically, to control hidden variables, avoiding helplessness. There are many hidden variables in our life which we don't know. That's how they are hidden. And when those variables come in our way, definitely we feel helpless. And so by praying, we definitely tell Ishvara to take care of hidden variables, and well, thereby we can avoid helplessness, frustration in our life. So if I don't seek help, well, I'm helpless. But if I seek help, I'm not helpless. So, so yeah, questions could be asked. Yeah, that's true. You can note down, and then last we'll see. Okay, so the satisfaction that comes from praying, definitely, which is a visible result for you, immediate result for you, experienced result for you. Well, that is a visible result, and there are other means of gaining satisfaction, like by cooking and eating, and a certain dish which you like. There also you gain a satisfaction. But when what is cooked is offered to Ishvara and then consumed, then it produces extra result, not just satisfaction, but it also produces adrishtam, the punyam. Well, that is not sin now. Drishtam means very well. Drish dhatu is there, means to see. Drishtam means which is seen. Adrishtam, which is not seen. And we are sure that nobody can see punyam, papam, etc. So especially the prayer produces two types of result, seen and unseen, which you can experience immediately in terms of satisfaction or freedom from helplessness, frustration after praying you experience, and also it produces adrishtam called punyam, which will not be seen by any human being in a whole life, but it is produced. So prayer is basically a karma action, and it is of threefold. One is a kayika karma, and the second is a vachika karma, and third is a manas karma. And this the division is based upon the means that we employ. Kayika karma means it's a ritualistic prayer, ritualistic act. We call it as a ritual as such, in which the limbs of the body are employed, like puja, yajna, etc. And second is a vachika karma, which is an oral prayer, like recitation, chanting, etc., or singing bhajan, etc. So, in kayika karma also, not just limbs are involved. All the limbs we can say either. So, even, in a kayika karma, while doing a puja, etc., doing abhisheka, etc., definitely you are chanting also, some shloka, mantra, etc. So, that is also involved, and the mind also is behind it. And therefore, all the limbs are involved in a kayika karma called puja or yajna or etc. And in a vachika karma, definitely two things are involved, and that is a speech and the mind. And manasa karma is basically in which only mind is involved. Anyway, so this prayer, which is an action, is of threefold, depending upon the limbs which are employed in that. Now, in Manasa Karma, there is a directed mental activity. And one can do an elaborate ritual mentally, creating an altar in the mind. And you can offer flowers and so on. We'll see that. And there are verses describing in detail this mental worship also. And that is called Manas Puja. And this Manas Puja is a meditation of the Lord. So any form of a mental activity is meditation as such. But so that way, even my worry also is mental activity. Even a killer also meditates, how to kill a particular person. Before, killing, definitely he deliberates in the mind the whole thing, right? So that's how they call it as a premeditated murder, etc. So then, any mental activity should be called meditation? No. When we are talking with respect to Shastra, etc., we can't take any mental activities considered as a meditation. So, but mental activity in which the object of meditation or object of the varieties of the thoughts is Ishvara, then we call it as a meditation. So they define also in Sanskritam as a Saguna Brahma Vishaya Manasa Vyaparaha Dhyanam. Dhyanam means a meditation. And Vyapara means an activity. Saguna Brahma Vishaya Manasa Vyapara. Manasa Vyapara, mental activity. A mental activity in which even your mind is active and has a varieties of the thoughts, but the center of all the mental activity is Ishvara in any form, Ishtadevata, your Ishtadevata. That so form may be anything, but that is called meditation. and then thereby Manasa Puja, in which varieties of the, well, definitely upacharas are involved, and which you are doing mentally, then that is called meditation. So Manasa Puja is a meditation. And even a chant repetition, japa, etc., also, well, is a meditation. And in Manasa Puja, well, you can visualize an altar and do an elaborate mental puja. In fact, the verses in Shiva Manas Puja show the steps of doing that Manas Puja, and well, which is been composed by Adi Shankaracharya ji. So, well, and for that, the person must be familiar with the puja, physical puja. I mean, physically he is might have done puja, then only can do the mental puja. Otherwise, it is very difficult. So, what are the things involved in that puja? Well, you offer a sit, asanam, just as you do for some person who comes to your place, a revered person who comes to your guest, comes to your house, then you offer a sit. So, that is the first thing. And then padhyam is there, well, washing the feet, etc. Then argyam, offering well, water for washing the hands. Then snanam, well, bath. And then clothes, vastram. And then ornaments, abharanam. And then offering flowers, pushpam. These are all offered in puja, right? In a kaika puja, well, when even physical, if you do this puja, kaika karma, that also all these things are involved. And then further sandal paste, etc. Chandanam, kumkumam, etc. Incense, dhupam is there. Then showing the light, deepam also is there. Then food, we offer the food, so naivedyam, etc. So these all the things are involved. Now which you are doing physically, now you do mentally. And because samskaras are there, all the impressions are there. And that's how even our pujas have become even mechanical also. Even we don't see any book, etc., or we are not aware what we are doing during a puja also, but the one after the other upachara just, happens. So we have a deep impressions. So we have done a physical this puja, and therefore, well, kaika puja, and therefore we are very much aware of what are the things involved in, and what are the upacharas involved. Even mantras also, or shlokas what you use for the upachara, those things also you know very well. Now, the same thing has to be done in a as a Manasa Puja, mentally. And there also you offer everything. Like first thing I told you as a upachara is offering asanam, sit. And so here also you can offer an asana. And here you not have to worry what. So you can imagine the base thing, right? So asana which is offered is inlaid with the precious stones, and the asanam itself, the seat itself is of gold, golden. And therefore, and the food which you offer, well, you can definitely, you have to just imagine, you have to visualize. So the food which you offer is a very elaborate, you can visualize very elaborately. So you need to see that in a given you need to see a given object in all the dimensions. That is the efficacy of this meditation. How vividly you are able to visualize varieties of the upacharas, shodashopachara or whatever. Sometimes people do panchopachara puja, but I am saying elaborate puja. So, well, how vividly you visualize the various upacharas and the offering, etc. Various materials are there, and various things which you offer to Ishvara's at a Ishvara's feet. Those things should be vividly. We should visualize it, and then that is the efficacy of this Manasa Puja, meditation. So in this act of worship, well, definitely the devotion grows, and the devotee becomes real. Right now, I'm not a real devotee, a fake devotee, right? And I become a real devotee. As I told you, you fake it till you make it. Just like, by swimming you become a swimmer. Just by being a devout, by doing this kind of a Manas Puja, ultimately you will become a true devotee. And so, alienation from, and when you become a true devotee, Swamiji, how will I know that I am a true devotee? Alienation between you and Ishvara, well, disappears in time. Then you should understand that you have become a true devotee. And the secondary result, of course, is this, that it enhances the capacity to hold an object, right, in your mind for a length of time, in deep absorption, And also depth and creativity also would be lasting, because you are able to visualize varieties of the things. Like Naivedyam, then you are able to visualize, and in every day, suppose you are doing a 15 minutes Manas Puja meditation, daily you can visualize different things, right? In a Naivedyam, daily you can visualize varieties of the flowers for offering as Archana, etc. So for Abhishekam also you can definitely visualize varieties of the things. So that way your depth also, because you are doing this meditation, and therefore the depth also increases of your mind, and also creativity also increases. Your focusing capacity also increases. And so these are the extra advantages other than the punyam which you are going to get. So when the altar is there in your mind, well, the flower goes, right? The flower are gone. But when you offer the flower, the altar is gone. So this is common. But in this meditation, basically, you learn to hold both at a time. So, well, definitely you are seeing the flowers also in the mind, and you are offering to the altar, that also you are able to see. So, otherwise, generally, a flower thought is there, then the thought of Ishvara will not be there. Thought of Shiva may not be there. Suppose I'm talking about giving a particular example. Then the thought of Shiva goes. And then, well, if I visualize the Shiva, then the flowers go. But in this Manas Puja, the advantage is, well, definitely, you are able to hold both, because you are offering, etc. So you are able to visualize the flowers as well as the altar also. So in this meditation, you learn to hold both at the same time, altar and a material, an offering, etc. So your power to hold a topic, well, to look at it from all the sides, become effortless in time. So all these capacities one learn in the process of doing the meditation in the form of mental puja. And the other form of meditation, well, of course, this is not a topic for us, but I'm just referring. The other form of meditation is a japa, basically, repetition of meaningful chant, connecting you to the Lord. That is also a mental thing only, and therefore it is a manas karma only, but that is a different type of manas karma, in which you are just repeating the name of the Lord with the help of mantra, etc. But right now we concentrate on manas puja rather than manas japa. Now this Shiva Manas Puja has a cultural overtone, because naturally, because Sri Shankaracharya ji has composed it, and the method of worship, well, here, which has been described by Acharya, is based on how it is done in India. So now there are 5 verses, of course, very short, and Shiva Manas Puja, which is very popular also. Most of the people even have by hearted also, they know. And so we'll read. I will read every verse. Only 5 verses are there. I will read every verse and I will explain you also. Ratnai kalpitamasanam himajalaihi snanancha divyambaram nana ratna vibhushitam mrugamada modankitam chandanam jati champaka bilva patra rachitam pushpancha dhupam tatha Deepam devadayanidhe pashupate hritkalpitam grihyatam. So definitely in our puja we know the first thing is an offering a seat to Ishvara, and so here also it starts like that. So one is seated, that is called asana. What kind of asanam here has been visualized? Well, Acharya says it is kalpitam. Kalpitam means it is studied. Ratnaihi kalpitam. So it is studied with precious stones. You are visualizing this. So it is, well, after all, it's a mental offering. So why should you be miser, right? When you are offering only in the mind. And we can't afford also physically, but this is just a visualization. So you visualize best thing. And so, well, you can give any kind of asanam you want. So Ratnaihi kalpitam asanam. So we are offering a asanam, sit to Lord Shiva. Himajalaihi snanam. Himajalam means a snow melt, basically, which is the river Ganga. And so pots full of water from Ganga well are offered on Lord Shiva. So you always offer only that which you feel good about anyway. So you could also say that you offer Ushnodakam, warm water. Suppose a lot of cold is there, in Canada, and you feel, well, the Lord Shiva will feel, cold. So, well, let me offer warm water. So, you can offer, this is all manas karma ultimately. And so, if you prefer that, well, you can do that also. It is possible to do that mentally. So, Ratnai Kalpita Asanam Himajalaihi Snanam, second Upachara. After offering Asanam, this is Snanam, Abhishekam. Then, Nana Ratna Vibhushitam Divyambaram. Ambaram means a cloth, Vastra. And Divyambaram means a celestial apparel, divine apparel. And and it is not something which is Laukikam, which does not belong to this world, but it's a divine, a wonderful fabric, let's say. And Divyambaram, the whole outfit is a Divyambara. And it is Vibhushitam, it is decorated with many gems. So Nana Ratna Vibhushitam, it is decorated with many gems. I am giving you the whole meaning, and therefore when you do this Manas Puja, definitely you can visualize accordingly. Then says Mrigamada Modankitam Chandanam. Mriga means a deer, basically. Mriga means as such it is any animal, but here we will take a deer. And Mada means which is born of that Mriga. So, well, on certain, on a certain gum trees, you must have seen that the gum sips out and dries on that bark of the tree. That is called Mada of the tree. It's an expression in the Sanskrit. So, Mrigamada. So, same way, this Mrigamada is also like a gum which comes out of this deer. So, we should understand as a musk, which they call it as a kasturi. So, Mrigamada Modankitam. So, the kasturi which is born of the deer, we can take it as a Mrigamada. And Amoda, Mrigamada Amoda, right? And Amoda means a fragrance. So, Mrigamada Modankitam Chandanam. So, Chandanam is a sandal paste. So, this sandal paste is made more fragrant by adding this kasturi or the musk into that. So, Mrigamada Modankitam Chandanam, by mixing the chandanam with this musk, definitely it becomes more fragrant. They say at the Tirupati Balaji temple, well, they always mix this chandanam and kasturi to apply to Ishvara, to Narayana. So anyway, in every temple, this is Mrigamada Modankitam Chandanam. And then, well, after that, because Snanam is over, we offered seed, then Snanam is over, then we have offered the divine clothes, and we have also done a tilakam, etc. with this, with the chandanam, along which is mixed with the kasturi. And then alankara. In every temple, this adorning, alankara is an act of devotion. When the Lord is decorated, well, they put together a number of items. And it is just like, a dressing table of a very rich and sophisticated lady, where there are, bottles and bottles. So the same way, when they are doing a abhushanam to Lord, you will find several things are there. So generally priests do alankara behind closed curtains, and so that is another upachara. And then you offer flowers. So Rachitam Pushpam, Mrigamada Modankitam Chandanam, then Rachitam Pushpam. Rachitam means a garland, and Pushpam is a flower. So definitely you offer a garland of flowers. But what kind of flowers? That also has Acharya has told it. So, Jati Champaka Bilva Patram. Jati is a kind of a jasmine. And while the jasmine, there is a difference between a jasmine and this Jati. Jasmine is basically, is a plant, but this Jati is a creeper. And you must have seen also. And so Jati Champaka. Champaka also, is another beautiful yellowish flower. Of course, it has another colors also. A dark red, light red color also. And this grows on a tree. There are always a tree. Champaka, Vriksha is there. And Bilva. Well, is also the leaf. And Bilva Patra, so of a particular tree. And it's this Bilva, that fruit is considered very medicinal. The leaf is also, they say, it's very curative and for stomach ulcers, etc. Anyway, so there are such Puranic stories associated with certain flowers, leaves, etc. But anyway, so now this upachara is basically you are offering a garland of flowers, and the flowers are this particular jati, champaka, etc. Bilvapatra is there. And well, you can visualize a beautiful garland naturally. We have not to make it as such. We can't make it, but you can visualize the best garland made up of varieties of the flowers. This is called upalakshana. Upalakshana means you in a group of flowers which are really very fragrant. Well, they give a few names, one, two, or three out of the set. But you can definitely visualize some other flowers also which are really fragrant, and a garland made up out of it. Then comes dhupam. Dhupam is an incense actually, and deepam is a burning camphor actually. So you show the light of the camphor to the Lord. It is lit with the flame of the lamp that is there around. And well, even in Manas Puja, you should be very careful when you light the camphor like you would do in a real puja. What happens is, in that light, well, if you do puja, you see that in that light, you see the reflected face of the Lord. Same way in a Manas Puja, you should visualize that way, that I am offering this a Karpura, Arti, Karpura Deepa, etc. And Lord's face I am able to see. In the reflected face of the Lord I am able to see. That is the efficacy or success of this meditation. How vividly you can observe all the upacharas and the altar also. Deva Dayanidhe Pashupate. So Deva is that it has been, this particular word is formed from the root Div. Well, means to shine. So Deva means, well, who shines. So, and we consider, the further meaning is, well, the one because of whom all the lights shine. So he is a light of lights. Today, recently, she sang very beautifully. Jyotir Jyotihi, Atma Jyotihi, etc. So this Atma Jyotihi is a Deva, really speaking, because of which everything shines. And that is what we chant also, you know very well. Na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam, nema vidyuto bhanti, kutoyam agnihi, tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam, tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati, etc. etc. So Deva is this basically a light on which, because of which all the lights even shine. So self-effulgent Lord is considered Deva. So it says here, Deva Daya Nidhe, you are the self-effulgent Lord, you are the consciousness, Brahman, and Daya Nidhe, one who is a treasure house of Nidhi. Nidhi means a treasure house, storehouse, and of what? Daya, well, of compassion. You are ocean of compassion. So he is the ocean of compassion. Pashupate. He is basically a master, Lord of Pashu. Pashu means this Jiva, who is bound by the Pasha, is called Pashu. So Jiva is bound, and well, Ishvara is a Lord of all the Jivas, basically, who makes the Jivas free from the bondage. The bondage is called Pasha. So from that, since a Jiva is bound by this Pasha, so Jiva is called as a Pashu. And Ishvara is Pashupati, Pashunam Patihi. And so Ishvara is a Lord of all the Jivas, who makes free the Jivas from bondage. So Deva Dayanidhe Pashupate. So this is address. This is address to Ishvara, that you are the Deva, you are self-effulgent Lord, and you are the ocean of compassion, and you are the Lord of all the Pashu, and definitely, all the Jivas. So, make us free. Hrit Kalpitam, Hrida Kalpitam is Hrit Kalpitam. Hrit means Hridayam, heart. So Hridayena means Manasa, with my mind, basically, Kalpitam, what is offered. Grihyatam, whatever I have offered till, still few things are left over. But these are the upacharas which I have offered to you. Well, may you receive. Grihyatam means may you receive. Kalpitam is what is offered. Well, Hrida means basically with the mind. That is considered, the mind, basically, the seat of the mind is the heart, basically. That's how we say, not the brain. And therefore, since it is a Manas Puja, and definitely I am offering through my mind only, I am visualizing everything in the mind. And so Hrida Kalpitam means Manasa Kalpitam, basically with my mind, and which is definitely situated in the heart, I am offering everything. Grihyatam, well, may you receive all this, what is offered to you, let it be received. So this is the first verse. Now some more upacharas will be there in the second verse. Sauvarnena varatna khanda rachite patre ghrutam payasam bhaksham panchavidham payodathiyutam rambaphalam panakam shakanamayutam jalam ruchikaram karpura khandojjvalam tambulam manasa maya virachitam bhaktya prabho svikuru. Now Naivedya has been offered. Actually, Naivedya is called Nivedanam. Nivedanam means an acknowledgement, not really offering. It's an acknowledgement that we basically my life is sustained because you are working, and therefore this food is going to sustain me. But that food is there because of your grace only, because you are the one. Whatever is there in the food, it comes from the world, and world is nothing but Ishvara's body. It's called Virat Purusha. It's a cosmic body. So Ishvara is constantly working, right? In form of sun and rain and all these things, and earth and all the elements basically are manifestation of Ishvara. And that's how a particular natural phenomena, if whole universe is Ishvara, but then a particular limb, called, let's say, sun. That a sun, you look upon Ishvara from the standpoint of sun, is called Devata. That's how we can say Surya Devata. Well, you look upon Ishvara because everything is Ishvara. So Prithvi also is Ishvara. But you look upon Ishvara from the standpoint of earth. We call Prithvi Devata. So that way we have Vriksha Devata, Prithvi Devata, Agni Devata, Vayu Devata, all Devatas. Ultimately it is one Ishvara. But you look to the Ishvara from a given standpoint. From the standpoint of Vayu, from the standpoint of a fire, from the standpoint of a Jalam, water. So, etc. From the standpoint of rain, right? Varuna Devata. Well, definitely, or Indra basically, let's say, because the storage here will say the Varuna Devata, etc. So, from a given standpoint, you look to the Ishvara. Ishvara is the whole, ultimately. When the whole cosmos is working, right? And ultimately, you are getting all the food, everything. And therefore, when you offer to the Ishvara, it is called Nivedanam. It's an acknowledgement that we acknowledge that what I am getting, and as a food, which sustains me, basically, is due to you only, your grace only. So that is how that's called Nivedanam. Some we call it Naivedyam also. Anyway, so here it says what you first offer to the Lord is sweet. So first thing that serve on a banana leaf basically is a little bit of sweet, If there is no sweet, they will at least serve some sugar just to begin with. So one is supposed to eat that first. So the sweet, that is dessert, will come later, where it will in its own turn. In due course it will come. So it says here, the first thing also in this Naivedyam, first thing is offered, which is sweet. So what it says here, Sauvarne Navaratna Khanda Rachite Patre Ghritam Payasam. So Ghritam Payasam, it is a sweet porridge, basically made with the ghee, that's clarified butter. And how do you offer this payasam? That is told here. We offer it in a patre, so in a cup. But what kind of a cup? It's not a paper cup actually. So Sauvarne Navaratna Khanda Rachite Patre. So Sauvarne means made of gold, basically. That's called, made of Suvarna is called Sauvarna. So Savarna is that which is made up of Suvarna, and Navaratna. So 9 precious stones. So Khanda means is a piece basically, and Rachitam means inlaid. So basically payasam made with this clarified butter in a golden vowel inlaid with the 9 precious stones. That's what you visualize. When you offer a Naivedyam, you are visualizing a patram. Well, basically made up of gold and which is inlaid with this 9 precious stones, and in that you have put this payasam along with the ghee, etc., and that you are offering it as a Naivedyam. And and then says Bhaksham Panchavidam. This is not enough, right? So we have to offer, this is just a beginning. Yes, some sweet we are offering in the beginning, but a lot of other things we have to offer. So Bhaksham Panchavidam. Bhaksham is what is masticated and eaten, a crunchy kind of a thing. So there are 5 types, Panchavidam of Bhaksham offered here. Bhaksham Panchavidam, there are 5 types Panchavidam of Bhaksham offered here. Payodadhiyutam, Rambaphalam Panakam, And so, well, basically, you are offering a banana with milk and yogurt, etc. And panakam. Panakam means a sweetened water, like our sharbat, they call. So, panak means a sweetened water. So, that also I am offering. Shakanam ayutam. Oh, ayutam means 10,000. And shaka means all these vegetables or curries. And ayutam is 10,000. Because, I mean, you can't visualize 10,000 vegetables or curries, but you visualize many vegetables. You have not to make. Physically, if we have to make, we can't make so many vegetables, right? But here it is just a manasam, basically. You have to visualize in the mind. So make it very gracious, And so shakanam ayutam, basically I am offering many, vegetables or curries. Jalam ruchikaram, jalam is water. And ruchikaram means a clean, tasty water. That also I am offering along with the food. Karpura khandojvalam tambulam. And this tambulam is a betel leaf and nut, basically. And it's a kind of a mouth freshener. And that is chewed after the lunch. So here I am offering tambulam mixed with the camphor. Karpura khandojvalam. So maya manasa virachitam bhaktya. So all of this is virachitam, offered to you. Maya manasa, by me mentally, in my thoughts, in my visualization, I am offering bhaktya with great devotion. Prabho, hey Prabhu, O Lord, Svikuru, may you receive it. So, O Lord, I offer this to you with a great devotion, etc. Now, the third mantra, third shloka. Chatram cha marayor yugam vyajanakam chadarshakam nirmalam veena beri mridangaka halakala geetancha nrutyam tatha sashtangam pranatistutir bahuvidha Hyetat samastam maya sankalpena samarpitam tava vibho pujam gruhana prabho. Further, Chatram, Chamaram. Chamara is a pair of fans, basically, that is soft. And it is made up of animal's tail, that is very soft. Vyajanakam is another kind of a fan. Chatram is an umbrella. So, Chatram, Chamaram, Vyajanam. And Vyajanam is also one kind of fan only. So all these are part of worship, upachara. As such, it is considered as a Rajopachara, Chhatra, Chamara, etc. Because the king generally has a Chhatram and a Chamaram also will be there. And then somebody will be, also fanning also with the fan, etc. So these are all Rajopachara. And Ishvara is a king of kings, and therefore we will have all these upacharas also. Then says Nirmalam Adarshakam, mirror. Nirmalam, free from malam, free from impurity, free from spots. So this is spotless mirror. And you should show a mirror. So that you have to visualize, right? You show a mirror as if you are asking to the Lord, is everything okay? Please see for yourself. Because we have, decorated also, put a tilakam and everything. And so put a garland also, we have put a garland. So definitely we are asking the Lord that, is everything okay or not? Please see for yourself. Then Nirmalam Adarshakam, then says Veena, Bheri, Mridangaka, Halakala, Geetancha Nrutyam Tatha. So we offer Geetam, then we offer a music performance accompanied by Veena. Veena means a string instrument. Bheri means a lute, a wind instrument. And Mridangam, which is basically a percussion instrument. So this music we offer with all these instruments. And then we also offer Nrityam Tatha, we also offer dance, Nrityam Tatha. And then says Sashtangam Pranatihi. Sashtangam Pranatihi. Pranatihi means a prostration, basically. And Sashtangam is with all the 8 limbs, 8 angas, touching the ground. All the 8 limbs, when it touches the ground while doing a prostration, that's called Sashtanga Namaskara. This is also called, instead of Sashtangam, they call Ashtanga Namaskara also. And Padbhyam, Karabhyam, Janubhyam, Urusha, Shirasa, Vapusha, Vachasa, Manasa, Chaiva, Pranamo, Sashtanga, Uchyate. So these limbs are involved in this Namaskara, Sashtanga Namaskara. What are the things? Padbhyam, with the feet, basically. Karabhyam, with the hand. Janubhyam, with the knees. Urasa, with the chest. All these limbs will touch the ground while doing a Namaskara. Ursa with the chest, Shirasa with the head, Vapusha, any part which is not mentioned here will be called, meaning stomach, etc. Let's say. Vachasa, by words, and Manasa, by thought, I offer my prostration with these 8 limbs unto you. So, Sashtangam Pranatihi, Stutihi Bahuvida, Hi Etat Samastam Maya Samarpitam. So, all these manifold praises are indeed offered by me with a great devotion to you. So, this is how it is. So, well, you even you don't have anything, a great devotion for Ishvara, but just fake it that you have a great devotion. And one day you will find that there is a true devotion in your heart. So, fake it till you make it. So, this is how it is. So, well, Stutihi Bahuvida, several manifold praises. Well, Hi Etat Samastam Maya Samarpitam. So, these praises are indeed Maya, offered by me. Samarpitam means offered by me with great devotion. And then it says, Tava Vibho Pujam Gruhana Prabho. Please receive basically this worship offered unto you, O Lord. And it says here, Tava Vibho. Well, Prabhu means Lord, and Vibhu means which is all pervading. Vividena Bhavati iti Vibhu. So, one who is pervading everything, one who is in the form of everything, one who is in the form of all the names and forms. Every form is a form of Ishvara, and therefore he is called Vibhu. So, one who pervades everything. So, and Prabhu means a Lord, Master. Okay, so this is the third verse. Now, fourth verse is really, it's a really beautiful. Acharya has composed here in this Shiv Manas Puja. Atma tvam girijamati sahacharaha prana shariram gruham pujate vishayopabhoga rachana nidra samadhi sthitihi sanchara padayoh pradakshina vidhi stotrani sarva girah yadyat karma karomi tattadakilam shambho tavaradhanam. So beautiful. For the Lord, well, Acharya says, for the Lord, the body itself is a temple. The devotee now makes his or her body a temple now. Atma Tvam, well, Atma means I actually. So so whatever the I, Aham, Atma, is Tvam, is you. So you are that. So there is no difference between you and me. Anyway, then says, Girija Matihi. Matihi is the mind, and that is Girija. Well, definitely you are that is the Prakriti, that is the Parvati here. So you are the Purusha, and she is a Prakriti. Well, they go together, and the same way Atma and mind go together. That's called Jiva. Anyway, we will not go much into the Vedanta, but then this is how it is. So basically, consciousness, Ishvara manifests in the mind, basically, or in the heart, let's say, and therefore they always go together. Like Shiva and Shakti go together. Same way, this here, well, definitely Atma, that is Ishvara, and the mind, which is Shakti, goes together. Purusha and Prakriti goes together. So my mind is a Parvati who is wedded to you, Girija, right? And so who is Jayate, and so Giri actually, and so Giri means a mountain. Who is a daughter of a Himalaya. So it's called, who is a daughter of a Parvata, is called Parvati, basically. Sahacharaha pranaha. The pranas are all this, pranas means all karmendriyas. Actually in Shastra, our sense organs and organ of actions, basically, we have 10 total indriyas, right? 5 organs of action and 5 organs of perception. All are called prana, basically. In a secondary sense. Prana as such, prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. So etc. That's a mukhya prana. But this prana, the indriyas are also called prana in a secondary sense, because ultimately indriyas can function if prana is there. If prana leaves, then sense organs also definitely leave their own respective houses, that is respective places. And therefore, in a secondary sense, these senses are also called prana. So here, Sahacharaha Pranaha. So here, this body is a temple. That Atma, that is, I, is basically in the form of I, is, or let's say Atma. Let's keep like that. Atma is basically Paramatma, and the mind is a Parvati, and Sahachara, definitely. Around Ishvara, there are a lot of Sahachara are there, and therefore, well, all these Sahacharas basically means servants, they are all nothing but these pranas. So the several pranas are there, senses are there. So even panchaprana also you can take, and all the 10 the indriyas also you can take. So the pranas are all karmendriyas, organ of action, organ of speech, hand, legs, and so on. And panchaprana you can take the 5 physiological functions. Also you can take 5 sense organs also, like eyes, ears, etc. So they are all sahachara. So they are your servants. They are moving here around you. They go along with you. Sahachara means they go along with you. Me shariram, my body, griham, me shariram is my body is griham, house for you. So, O Lord, you are seated in it as the Atma, in this body. Te puja, well, puja te, right? So, te puja means to you, this is my puja. What puja? You are, well, Ishvara is sitting here with the Parvati, with the Shakti, and all these pranas, etc. are sahacharaha. They are all servants which are moving around. And, well, that is true. But what is the puja here? So, Vishaya Upabhoga Rachana, all these various objects, enjoyments, all forms of experiences are a form of worship of you. Like the flowers that we offer at your feet, same way all the objects that I perceive through my sense organs, basically, or infer with my mind, varieties of the objects. I mean, whatever I see is an offering to you. Whatever I hear is an offering to you. Whatever I touch, that object of touch is offering to you. Whatever I smell, that object of smell is offering to you. Because you are sitting inside. And therefore, as Atma. So all these things which I really perceive through these 5 sense organs, well, they are all the offerings to you. Like, we offer flowers at the feet of Ishvara. Same way, these varieties of the objects of perception are flowers that are offered at your feet. So, all these objects of perception, etc., fall at your feet. So, let them be as though offering of flowers to you. So, it's a visualization. Okay, so puja te vishayobhabhoga rachana nidra samadhi sthitihi. So nidra, my going to sleep, is the equivalent of your samadhi. You are always in samadhi. I am with you in my nidra. I become one with you in my nidra. So that is how this is. Ishvara is not sleeping, right? If Ishvara sleeps, you can imagine what can happen. The whole world collapses since he is all the time active. But anyway, he is all the time in samadhi. That we know also. Lord Shiva you will always see in a samadhi. So that is the Lord Shiva who is sitting here as Atma. Well, he is in samadhi. But I meet him during deep sleep state. Well, it's a very beautiful thing. So I meet him during deep sleep state. I become one with him. So I am with you in my deep sleep. Padayoho sancharaha padakshina vidhi. The movement of my legs and feet are my doing pradakshina, religious, circumambulation to you. Stotrani sarva giraha. So when you are Atma and my mind is basically Girija, Shakti, then anything that I say is going to be a stotra, a glory of you, basically, a glory alone. So all my words, sarva giraha, are the glory. I do not lose sight of you. And that's why we have to be very careful what we speak, if we criticize the people and do ninda and all this. We have to be very careful. Ultimately, everything becomes a stotra for Ishvara because he is sitting here, and so this will make us a very alert person as a seeker basically. And so yadyat karma karomi. So whatever karma I do, basically, Shambho, well, O Lord, tattat akhilam. All of it, whatever karma I do, all of it, well, tava aradhanam, worship unto you. So it's a beautiful verse which, ultimately, that is taken here, body itself is taken as a temple, and here the Atma which is there, conscious being, that is Paramatma. My mind is a Parvati, all the time it is associated with it. Pranaha, Sahacharaha, all the organs of action. And all the pranas, pranapana, vyana, udana, samana, all these are sahachara, they are servants, they move along with him. So they are right. Since Ishvara is here, they are here. And shariram gruham, and this body is definitely your house. Pujate vishayopabhoga rachana, and through my sense organs, I daily, in a waking state, I take a lot of objects of perception. I take in. They are all nothing but the offerings. They are all the flowers which are offered unto your feet, who is sitting here. And nidra samadhi sthiti, my nidra, my deep sleep state is basically a samadhi, because you are in a samadhi and I am with you in the deep sleep state, and therefore this nidra is basically like a samadhi, like a deep meditation. And sanchara padayoho pradakshina vidhi, whatever, wherever I move, well, ultimately it's a pradakshina. Whether I even I may be moving around they call it a immigration office for some going for a week, anywhere I move, it's ultimately I am doing a pradakshina of you. So stotrani sarvagir, and whatever I speak ultimately is nothing but your glory alone. So yadyat karma karomi, whatever I do ultimately tattad akhilam, well, ultimately all of it, well, Shambho, hey Shambho, oh Lord, tava aradhanam, it's nothing but your worship, or it's a worship unto you. The last verse. Karacharana kritam va kayajam karmajam va shravananayanajam va manasam va paradam vihitam avihitam va sarvametat kshamasva jaya jaya karunabdhe Shri Mahadeva Shambho jaya jaya karunabdhe Shri Mahadeva Shambho. Karacharana kritam karmajam, so born of whatever action, karmajam, karmana jayate. So born of whatever action I have performed with karacharana, with my legs and hands. Karam means a hand, and charanam means a legs. So born of whatever action I have performed with my legs and hands, vak kayajam, whatever I have done either orally or by use of my limbs. Shravana nayanajam, anything born of my sense organs such as ears, eyes, etc. and so on. Manasam, whatever action I have done mentally. And aparadha is physically, and then says aparadham. Aparadham means aparadha is an omission of the right action or commission of the wrong action. Either way, that's called aparadha. What you are not supposed to do, you do. Aparadha. What you are supposed to do, you don't do. Aparadha. So what you are supposed to do, you don't do. Omission. What you are not supposed to do, you commit, you do. So commission. So that way, this aparadha can be born of omission and commission. So we do certain actions which we are not supposed to do, and still we do. Then invite papa. And same way here, if certain things we are supposed to do, well, morning getting up early and taking bath, and first thing is lighting up a lamp and doing a small prayer, etc. And then one should take a cup of tea or whatever. This is the way we should do, but we don't do. We have a bad tea, so in bad self we drink some tea, etc. So that's not fair. Anyway, so I'm not, whether it is fair or not, let's drop it. So I mean so vihitam avihitam, whatever I have done with reference to vihita karma or avihita karma. Vihita means which is enjoined, avihita means which is nishiddham, which is prohibited. So karunabde sarvam etat kshamasva, what is enjoined I have not done. What is avihitam, what is told that you don't do this, but I have done. Well, whatever it is. Well, etat kshamas sarvam karunabde etat sarvam kshamasva. May you forgive everything. O Lord, the ocean of mercy, may you forgive everything. Means whatever, ultimately aparadha which is born of ultimately doing some action through my legs and hands. Vak kayajam, through I have done some actions orally or by use of certain limbs which I have done, which I am not supposed to do. Shravananayajam, anything born of my sense organs such as ears, etc. I have seen something which I should not see. I have heard something which I should not hear, etc. And manasam, whatever action I have done mentally which I am not supposed to do. And so that aparadha, whatever that basically omission of a right action or a commission of the wrong action, whatever I have done, kshamasva. Etat sarvam kshamasva. May you forgive everything, O Lord. you are ocean of mercy, and you will definitely forgive me. So with this, this Shiv Manas Puja is over, and now we will invite some questions in general, if you have, regarding this, or in general whatever. Last day we will do chant the Om Purnamada. So before that we will invite some questions.
Thank you very much, Swamiji. That was a very enlightening speech. I do have a couple of questions from the audience here.
Yes.
And a question from the chat line. I will start with the question from the audience. The first question is, although we practice daily puja routines and prayers, sometimes due to stress and strains of the day, we might miss it. Should we feel guilty about it?
Yes.
How do we manage that?
Yes, we should feel guilty. You see, what happens is generally when we are very busy, the first thing we compromise, or we sacrifice rather, is this religious activity. I mean, it's all this, puja, etc. Religious activity means the activity or the actions by which I relate to Ishvara. That activity is called religious activity. So I won't miss any other thing. I won't miss a breakfast. I won't miss calls, nothing. But definitely I will sacrifice this religious activity. That shows that it is not in my priority. Ishvara is not in my priority as such. Well, we have to change that. And to change that, at least a little guilt should be there. Yes. That our mind always has some excuse. How can I do this puja? This person is coming at 9 o'clock but then you know that person is coming at 9 o'clock. You would have, gotten up a little early. Some 20 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever, release activity. You are doing some puja or japa or whatever. You could have done that. And you are sitting on a dining table and doing breakfast and reading newspaper and calling several people, 1 hour you spend. There you don't want to compromise. But if puja comes, then immediately mind tells, how can I do puja today? Because I am very busy. Anyway, ultimately I will request Ishvara, he will forgive me very much. And he forgives. And therefore one who forgives, you take him for granted. That's how it is. So Ishvara becomes of a least priority. We should know that if we are doing that, Ishvara is nothing but a peace, security and happiness, which you want in fact through all the activities. So, but that becomes a least priority in your life. Means you acquire a lot of things, but you keep away the peace, security and happiness. That's how it is. So religious activity is activity which ultimately becomes a door, a gateway, let's say. Gateway to for Ishvara to come in. And therefore, we should not generally compromise those things, sacrifice.
Thank you, Swamiji. The other question is, some people do puja rituals and chanting, and some people do just meditation without any rituals. Which one is better?
Start with the puja and chanting, etc., and then switch over to meditation. So let's make like this, after every puja, have a small chant and then meditation.
So you are saying all three?
All the three. I'm telling you, because more the limbs involved in a karma, better the result. More the effort, better the result. And therefore, I have already told you this prayer, basically, Kaika karma, gives a maximum adrishtam, maximum punyam. People feel that meditation on Ishvara gives more punyam. It's not correct. More limbs are involved. Means basically, if you do physical, puja, it's basically a physical activity. Kaika karma, and therefore physical action rather. And then even the speech is also involved. You are chanting some shloka also while doing puja, and also mind is involved. And therefore, more the limbs are involved in action, better the result. And therefore, puja gives a better punyam, etc. And everyone needs. We need earnings basically, And this is a earning. This particular earning will come life after life. It will not be for a given life, right? And therefore, we should not miss this opportunity where we can generate more punyam. So, kaika karma compared to manas karma, puja, etc., compared to the meditation, give more punyam. So, we should do that.
The next question is, are women advised to do Ashtanga Namaskar?
No, generally they are not. They with the five limbs, etc., head and the hand and the legs and knee and etc. So like that, not the chest and stomach, etc. No.
Okay. Do we still do Manasa Puja if we have all ingredients like flowers, fruits, water, doop, deepa, etc.?
Yes. So what I am saying is, like, after doing all this, you have material, and so you can do this Kayika Karma, puja, etc. And so after that, you want to meditate also. Take the same, do the same puja which you have done as a mental puja, with a little more elaboration, with a little more, better visualization of the things. And then Swamiji, we don't have that much time, correct? Then see, you can do the puja which consists of 16 steps. Instead, you can have 5 steps. And the same 5 steps you can visualize in the mind, becomes meditation, right? And so Panchopachar puja you can do outside, Panchopachar puja you can do as a Manas Karma also. And therefore, you can save some time also. And so this is how you can save, but both the things should be there ultimately, because everything has its own advantage. And therefore, let's not do that, I will do only meditation and leave out this puja. Or I will do puja and leave out meditation. No. And generally the krama is, first do puja, Kayika Karma, physical action, and then do meditation. That's better. And Manas Karma, Manas Puja, later.
Vedanta says we should strengthen our intellect and develop control over mind. If mind is Shakti, why should I strengthen my intellect over mind?
Yeah, but mind has to be channelized. It is Shakti. Shakti always has to be channelized, right? I have a lot of power, but then I may waste also. I may waste. So, water comes through the rivers, one has to channelize. If you won't channelize, it will be wasted. It goes to the ocean. And if you just put a dam and just stop it, then also it will be dangerous, right? It creates an artificial lake and it will break open everything, and it will a lot of damage will be there. So every time so mind is like a river flow. It's a thought process. It's a thought flow, and so it has to be channelized. And channelization means it is to be ultimately by religious activity. Ultimately, see, this Manas Puja, in which we are using our mind, right, at the level of thought visualization we are doing. So it's a channelization of your energy. So mind is a Shakti, but Ishvara has given you a free will to channelize also, right? The free will also is given by him, and therefore I cannot tell an animal that your mind is basically Shakti, and so better you channelize. I can't tell, but you have been given a free will, so better you exercise your free will and channelize. And channelization will definitely bring an advantage. Channelized water of the river, for irrigation, for agriculture can be used, right? So even we put a dam, but through dam we channelize. We just don't stop. And if dam is not there, whole water will be wasted into the ocean. And therefore, channelization is required.
So the next question is, since the stotra is for Ishvara, is it acceptable to do Sola Somvar Vrat and conclude with Shiva Manas Puja?
Yeah, but this Shiva Manas Puja, basically it's a meditation which one has to do on a daily basis, honestly speaking, because I have told you the advantages of it. That, it gives a focusing capacity. That's a drashtaphalam, that is an immediate result which you can experience. Also, it gives a punyam, which you require, in fact, on a daily basis. So, because we are exhausting the punyam, right? Our own earning, we are exhausting daily. You and me are healthy right now. We have a lot of favorable things around us. We have a lot of food and this and that. And so means we are exhausting our own earnings, basically. We are living in a 5-star hotel. This five elements, and we are living in this world of 5 elements is a 5-star hotel. And so we are living in this hotel and at our own cost, basically. And therefore, when you have to generate earning also. The expenditure is all the time there. So you have to generate. And so punyam has to be generated by such activity. So meditation also, Manasa Puja also generates a punyam. Or this other puja also generates or Vachik Karma, Stotra Patha, etc. also, chanting, etc. also generate a punyam. So Daily we have to generate. And also it has an immediate result in terms of focusing capacity. So if you do ultimately at the end of some 16 weeks or something, well, it won't give you that immediate result. If you want an immediate result, well, do it on a daily basis. So your focusing capacity, your depth, your creativity, all will increase. By doing a Manas Puja, this does not take, I hardly feel it will take say more than 10 minutes. So let's make it a routine of doing this Manas Puja. And once we know the meaning, and definitely we can, and everybody has a puja, samskara is there basically. Everyone knows how to do puja. So you can visualize the altar and offer all the steps.
From the Advaita point of view, where everything is Brahman, what is devotion?
Yes. In fact, if you want the definition of a devotion from Shankaracharya ji, it is there in Vivek Chudamani. Swaswarupa anusandanam bhakti iti giyate, abhidiyate. I'm sorry, not giyate, iti abhidiyate. Bhakti iti abhidiyate. Well, this devotion is called Swaswarupa anusandanam. Well, Swaswarupa anusandanam. Anusandanam here means knowing, or let's say meditating upon oneself that I am Parameshwara, that this Atma is nothing but this pure consciousness, it is Brahman. But that's the ultimate step. So let's not go into that. So, but Acharya has already defined that bhakti means the ultimate bhakti is this. It has been defined there in Vivek Chudamani itself. So, well, let's start with this. Let's start with Shaguna Ishvara, not Brahman, which is Nirgunam, etc. Let's start. Let's have a good relationship with him. Let us feel that there is no alienation from Ishvara. Ultimately, you are going to say that this Atma is Brahman, right? So you are bringing so close in form of I, which is very close. I is Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. So, but before that, at least let us, remove the alienation. So this puja, japa, etc. and this manas puja, etc. will remove the alienation, which I told also. And once alienation goes, then you feel Ishvara is, you are in a proximity of Ishvara. And then definitely, such a Ishvara, to know it is as a self, well, is easy. And therefore, let's not avoid it.
The next question is, can women learn and chant Rudra?
Basically, anything pertaining to Veda, definitely one has to qualify oneself. And the qualification is a samskara. Samskaras, all different samskaras we have, they are all for the Shuddhikaran, for purification. You see, I will tell you one thing. When when they install basically a Ishvara in a particular place, right? They do so many upacharas, They chant so many mantras and do a lot of upacharas and make that particular place, maybe temple, totally purified. Then only they install Ishvara, and then Pranapatishtha, etc. has been done. Same way, Veda also is a Ishvara, manifestation of Ishvara. You have to install here. You want to install here. Then mind, etc. has to be purified. Well, definitely, otherwise, instead of Veda, purifies us, instead of that, well, we pollute Veda. And therefore, ultimately, chanting Veda, etc., definitely for that we have to purify ourselves. And we have samskaras called, one of the samskara is Upanayan samskara. And definitely purifies us physically also, as well as mentally. Any samskaras in which we have we have a lot of mantras, etc., and upachara also is there, and definitely purifies my mind as well as my body. And with Upanayan samskara, then I can invite Veda, starting from Gayatri itself. Gayatri is an essence of all the Veda, and of course then Gurukulam, where you go and learn all the Vedas, etc. So basically, one has to purify oneself. Now, between a Purusha and a Stri, basically a man and woman. Woman will have some period in the month where definitely she cannot, she definitely, her body also becomes impure. They say emotional little imbalance also occurs. So that is why at the time of marriage, she also have a Upanayanam. But because of this, her Upanayanam is definitely, worn by a man at the time of marriage. You know very well. And therefore, because of such situation, generally we say let's not invite Veda into us where I'm bound to become impure in a month, etc., for some few days, etc. So that is the reason only. But then, he will chant. My husband will chant, and then what about me? If I won't chant, there is no punyam for me. No, sir. No. Because he has to, he wears this, Upanayanam. And so whatever punya karma he does, it may be a chanting, it may be a puja, it may be anything pertaining to Ishvara, relating to Ishvara, whatever religious activity he does, well, half of the punyam goes to the wife. That is all Shastra's arrangement, and therefore they need not worry that we don't chant and then definitely we will be deprived of certain punyam, these, etc. So we should not worry about that. And so this is the thing. So this is my view actually, and if it is acceptable, it is okay. Otherwise, no problem.
Thank you, Swamiji. This would be the last question.
Yes.
Panchadasha Puja means providing asana, water, prasad, cloth, and deepa. Can you please brief us again about the names, about the 5 elements of Panchadasha Puja?
Panchopachar Puja, not Panchadasha. Panchadasha means 15. No. Pancha, 5, only 5. And that too, as I told you, first is Abhishekam, Snanam. And then you offer Naivedyam. And third, Karpura, Archana, offering flowers. Fourth is Naivedyam. And fifth is Namaskara. This 5. You can note it down. Abhishekam, and then offering flowers, Naivedyam, Karpurarti, this showing the lamp, and lastly Namaskara. This Panchovachar. That also you can do.
Thank you so much, Swamiji. I will request our chairman, Dr. Lakshmanan, to say a few words.
Yes.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Pranam Swamiji. Our trustee, Dr. Parambat, mentioned about the challenges we have through the experience of COVID. COVID also has brought us to live in the virtual world. In this virtual world, Swamiji, we are able to see you, be with you, spend time with you, and hear your provision and enjoy the provision, opening the 2 more eyes to reach Ishvara. We always need Guruji, Guru through you, Acharya, and also include Valakananda. We need Gurus to help us to reach Ishvara, be it Bhakti, Jnana. And today, when you elaborated the 5 shlokas, Swamiji, when you said Atmatvam, to me that illustrated the Advaita philosophy understanding there itself. So what you were saying, we experience all this, but this Jivatma does not know all the details. But we need a jnani like you to come and tell us, it is in you, go and understand and help yourself to reach Bhagavan. Swamiji, if we need more such experience, you coming to us